I'm trying to rotate this. Hi, welcome. I'm trying to rotate this camera and it's really giving me issues. I'm trying to rotate this. Hi, welcome. I'm trying to rotate. So, let's see. There. We're going to have to do it this way. Hi, guys. So let's see who's on. Hello, everybody. Crushing, Naive, Diamond, Kim, Tiffany, Karen. Hi, guys. If you see me looking off to the side, I'm trying to see the chat from there because that's easier for me to do. Um, so I wanted to start this new series, and it's going to be called Tuesday Talks. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing on Tuesday Talks is just doing that, just talking and chatting with everybody. And what I'm going to do for this first episode is allow you guys a chance to get to know me better. So this will be your chance to just ask any questions within reason that you might have. Um, while you're here, don't forget to slay. Make sure you subscribe, like, and accept the alerts. I am 5 away from my goal of 200 subscribers for the end of the month. So, yes. So, what got me started with YouTube? Oh, so my name is Tamika, and I'm with Pastries, Pumps, and Pie. That is my blog. And so I started my YouTube channel actually in order to promote my blog. I really didn't want another social media outlet, and my blog had been a little dormant for a while, for about 2 years, because I went back to teaching full time. Uh, Tamika, Tameka, Tameka. Hello, Angela. Yeah, so once I started working full time again, I kind of neglected my blog a little bit. I would post every now and then, but not as much as I had been posting. And so I wanted to revive my blog. And so that's why I started the YouTube channel. I really didn't want to, but my brother was telling me, YouTube and Instagram is where it's at right now, and you're gonna have to get in. And then I actually just started a Facebook because I realized that was gonna be a necessity as well. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. I've always lived here. I have never moved away from San Antonio. I've lived here in my entire life. Um, I always get a lot of people that tell me that I don't sound like I come from the South. I don't know. But yeah, I've lived here forever. I'm down the street from you, Tiffany. Really? Where are you at? Yeah, I've been here forever. Dallas. Oh, yeah, I have some family in Dallas. Haven't been up that way in a while. I need to get up that way. Used to travel there like all the time, but haven't been in a while. You thought I was Jamaican. No, I visited Jamaica once. Oh, Angela, you're in Fort Worth. Cool. I have family in Fort Worth too. Yeah, I visited Jamaica actually. It was in March. I took my first cruise ever, and our first stop was in Jamaica. So I've only visited there, not from there. I don't have a Jamaican accent though. Tiffany, you need a planner bestie? I'm looking for a planner bestie too. Yeah. I don't know that many others here in San Antonio. Indinaja's here, and we're going to try and meet up eventually. Um, I speak so proper. Everybody tells me I sound like I'm from the north. Nope, never been to the north. Um, I sound so proper. I don't know. I don't know if that comes from teaching. Um, that could be what that's from. Working in corporate America. I had a teacher in high school, and she would always tell us how we needed to conduct ourselves and prepare ourselves for corporate America. And every day in class, that's almost all that she would talk about corporate America, corporate America. Corporate America nearly drove me crazy. Um, so I remember one day I was thinking, Miss Tennessee, you're always talking about corporate America. Corporate America has driven me insane. Yeah, we all need to find some planner babes in our area. Yeah, everybody tells me I sound like I'm from the north, but I don't. The farthest north I've ever even been was Michigan, and that was like for training for work. Yes, your customer service voice, exactly. And I worked in corporate America for 6 years. I guess I kind of had other jobs before there, and I worked at a bank for a while too. So that was working with people and their money. That can be rather interesting. I always say I'm going to write a book about like some of my experiences, especially my experience teaching. Like y'all, I could write y'all a book like you've never seen, and it could be like one of the best lifetime movies and everything once I'm done publishing that. Will you ever visit Minnesota? That's where I'm from. Whoa, I've never been in that area. Like, I would love to travel more, definitely, but traveling takes money, number one. And with the schedule that I have, because I teach and I tutor, it's kind of hard to just get up and go travel whenever you want to. Um, when you're not present as the teacher or the tutor, it seems like the students just get way behind in your absence. So, but I would love to travel more. I finally traveled out of the country this year. Like I said, I went on a cruise. I went to Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Cozumel. So that was a 7-day cruise I did in March. And then in July, I went to Seattle and I visited family there. And we took a trip to Canada one of the days there. So, what topics or subject do you teach? Math. I've always taught math. I tutor pretty much elementary to high school, but as far as teaching, I've always taught high school math, primarily algebra. um, Math, the reason I wanted to teach math was because in eighth grade I took pre-algebra, and I saw how a lot of my classmates were all stressed and everything. You start incorporating variables and letters, and people started going crazy with that. And I thought it was actually easy. I love solving for X, like I love it. Um, and I thought it was easy, but I saw how other people were so intimidated. And so that's why I decided that I wanted to teach math. Now, confession, I don't enjoy all math. I thought I enjoyed all math until I got to college. And then some of the classes I had to take for college were like absolutely ridiculous. I remember asking one of my professors, am I going to get foreign language credit for this class? Because this is crazy. Yeah, so I don't like all math, but I'm very partial to algebra. That's my subject. Yeah, Common Core is horrible. It is just taking kids all around town to do something in a crazy way, where back when we were in school, we learned it in the most simplest way possible. And the way that I teach is I'm trying to get the kid to where they're going the easiest route possible. And I got a lot of slack about that in teaching. They wanted me to teach this new way and all this. I'm old school when it comes to that. And I don't like all these different strategies and all this stuff that they want you to implement, because sometimes I just feel like it just makes it harder for the students to learn. Yeah, they do learn differently, and I can understand why they want us to teach things a different way, because people have different learning styles. So I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with teaching a very difficult way to do something that is not that difficult at all. Um, do boys and girls learn differently? I would say not really. I think it just depends on the, like I was just saying, on the kids' learning style. Some students are more hands-on, some are more visual learners. Some students are like me, like let's just get to the numbers and let's just do it. But when it comes to algebra, and I say it all the time, algebra is about processes. In algebra, you have to learn processes, and the processes never change, just the values and the variables that you're working with change. And so I always explain it to students and I say, well, you have this routine in the mornings. You get up, you take a shower and all that stuff, and you get ready. The process doesn't change. You might change clothing, but your process doesn't change. So if you can get a child to learn the process, especially in algebra, then they're good to go. And I agree. Keep it simple. And the way that they're doing things now is just, it's all kinds of crazy. Um, like with my godson, he was showing me how they were doing rounding, and they want them to do this whole like little line graph or something. I don't know. It was a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff. And he can do a lot of the stuff like this without all the steps. He can do a lot of stuff in his head. And so he was struggling and he was getting bad grades because he wasn't showing the work. And then when he was in school last year, they tried to tell me that he didn't know his multiplication. And I was like, yes, he does. I know he knows his multiplication, but he wasn't showing the work. And so they thought he didn't know it. And so right now, that is his only struggle really, is how do I show them that I know how to do this? Uh, but otherwise, he's got it. Yeah, algebra, that's my stuff right there. I love me some algebra. Um, I was always good at math. I don't know why. I just kind of, but like I said, once I got to college, I struggled. Like, I think most of the struggle in college for me was because at one point I started working full time and I took a 5 year break from college. And I don't recommend that to anybody. If you're going to do college, get it done and don't take a break. And so I took a 5 year break. But before the break, the last class I had, hey everybody that just got on, I'm trying to read the comments so I don't want to miss anybody. So welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. Um, I took Calculus 1 and then I took a break for 5 years. So when I came back to college, I didn't even remember Calculus 1. Like, I seriously didn't remember it. And so my Cal 2 teacher, thank God for him because he was so patient with me. And so it was as if I was learning Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 at the same time. And at first, I was going for an education degree, which I wasn't going to have to take as much math, but then I wanted to finish sooner. I was tired of going to school. And my advisor said, well, what do you want to teach? And I was like, I'm going to teach math. She goes, well, if you change your major to math, then you can finish earlier. And then you can just do alternative certification for your teacher certification. So I was actually able to finish a whole year early because I switched my major to math. And but I struggled. I was learning Cal 1 and Cal 2 at the same time because I'd switched to a math major. I had to take even more math classes. So my calculus teacher was like, yeah, you're gonna have to take calculus 3 next year. I was like, there's no calculus 3. He was like, yes, there is. I was like, oh Lord. So yeah, I ended up having to take Cal 3, and then I learned there was like 4 and 5 and like all these engineer majors in my classes. But I love algebra. I love trigonometry. I do not like geometry. And I remember the first year I had to teach geometry, I had to fake it for a while. I had to really pretend that I was really enjoying it. But I wasn't. But I did learn after some years that it was actually easier for me to incorporate more hands-on stuff and more projects in the geometry classes. So I ended up kind of liking it more, I guess. Yes, I need 5 more subscribers. Yes, thank you, Naive. Hey, Pine and Ginger. Diamond, what are you up to? Yeah, so that's my thing with math. And I've I taught in public high school for 6 years, quit teaching, only did private tutoring, went back, taught 2 more years in a private high school, quit that again, and right now I'm teaching at a, hey Tarshell, and right now I'm teaching at a homeschool co-op. It is high school grades there, and then I have students that I privately tutor as well. So that's what I do. I really, really enjoy the one-on-one tutoring. Like that is very fulfilling for me. Um, your fiance loves it. Yeah, it's really not that bad. It's really not. Um, and I always tell students too that I can teach you just about anything if number one, you pay attention. That is, to me, that's the first step in learning is paying attention. If you're not paying attention, you're not going to learn anything. So yeah, definitely not. Are you a functional or decorative planner? I am a little bit of both. Um, if you've seen my plan with the meats, I usually tend to start with my functional stuff, and then I add my decor in there as well. But yeah, like you'll hear a lot of planners say, when you have a pretty planner spread, it makes you come back and check your plans and try to adhere to those plans if you can. I did a crash course in college to try and jam as much as I could together and get it over with quickly. The females in my family struggle with math. Um, I There's not very many females, I don't think, in my family that are lovers of math like I am. No. And like where I'm an algebra person, like my mom, she was more like a geometry person. She said she preferred geometry, and I don't think my brothers really care for algebra either. As teachers, we have to compete with their attention. Yes, yes. So because like especially when I'm teaching algebra, like I get excited and the kids think I'm crazy. They really do. And I tell them from the start of the year, there are going to be times when we're going to go over certain content and I'm just going to really get excited in this class and you're going to wonder what's wrong with me. So I'll be like, isn't this fun? And then they're just looking at me like, no. But you do struggle with their attention. One thing I have to say is one thing I noticed when I taught in the private school, you had their attention more than in the public school. And then now teaching with the homeschool kids, it's like, what's a cell phone? Because I hardly ever see them. Like those kids do not take out their cell phones. They are really, really attentive to what needs to be done. Um, and I don't think a lot of people understand the struggle with teaching. And for years, especially the first 6 years when I was in public school, I never felt like I really got to teach. And that was the one thing that I was always saying, I just want to teach. I just want to teach. Can I just teach already? Because you're dealing with so many other issues. And then administration has been my kryptonite when it comes to teaching. And that is the reason I left the public school. Then I went back the last 2 years and I tried with private school. Once again, administration. So if you go to my blog, I have been doing a series called I Walked Out of the Classroom Again. So I've been doing this series and I've been talking about my teaching experience, and I've done 3 parts already. After doing part 2, it drained me. Doing part 2 of that series drained me because as I wrote everything, it's like I relived it. So part 2 was all about my issues with administration. And as I was writing it, I was like, I really went through all of this? Like, this is insane. So it took me forever to write part 3 because like I think I was actually getting a little anxiety just writing it. Um, and I'm overdue for doing part four, and I'm planning to get another part out this week. But when I wrote part two, I'll never forget the day that I wrote it. I sat down at the table with my tablet and I was like, okay, this should take me about 30 minutes. I think it was about 2 hours that I had been going with that. That part two alone could have been like three parts. I mean, it's pretty intense. So definitely, if you're interested, go to my blog and check that out. Yes, yes, we can definitely chat. But I found it more rewarding, doing private tutoring, and I found it more rewarding working with the homeschool kids. Um, the only issue that I've seen thus far with some of the homeschool students is that, well, because I meet with them once a week. I meet with them once a week, and we do like a whole week's worth of math in an hour and a half. It's really intense. And I'm a very detailed person. And so when I write out notes and everything, they're super detailed. And that's why I would get frustrated with my students because I'm like, you're getting the best of the notes. You should have no problem with that. But it's hard for me to get in everything that I want to get in with them in an hour and a half. And what I've noticed is that some of them kind of wait to the last minute, I think, to get their homework done. And so we spend a lot of our time going over questions. And I'm like, we don't have that kind of time to go over homework questions. Like, ask me the questions throughout the week because they can access me through email throughout the week. And I prefer that they do that. And I'm going to really enforce that this next semester that, hey, if you don't ask me questions by Friday, 6 p.m., then we're not going to be doing homework questions when we come into class because we only have an hour and a half and we really, really need that time. But yeah, teaching I still enjoy it, but it's it's true. It's a tough job. Like I went through just my very first year of teaching, my very first year. And y'all know the school year starts late August, early September, most places. I kid you not, by October, my very first year, I was ready to quit. I was like, I'm done with this. And it was once again more of an administrative issue. Administrators make our job very difficult. Do you self-care and does it, and what does that look like for you? Um, I'm not very like high maintenance or anything. I used to be some years ago, like in my 20s, and in my 30s, but I'm not very high maintenance now. But for me, I don't think I take enough time to deal with me. I'm a perfectionist, and so that causes me to get disappointed easy, and it causes me to get stressed easily. And then so I carry all of my tension like in my shoulders and in my back. So one thing I would like to start doing more for myself is going and getting regular massages because when every time I go, they tell me I need to be in there every 2 weeks because the knots in my back and in my shoulders are so bad. But um, every now and then I'll just say, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything today and I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to chill. But I need to work on that for 2019, just dedicating a little more time just to myself. I think sometimes I feel like I'm being unproductive. And then some people, it may come off to them as, I'm being lazy. But yeah, and I know that I've seen a lot of planners talking about this lately, and we were talking about it on Michelle's live last night, and I do need to take more time for self-care. Like my nails, I've been wanting to get my nails done. Like I have, but I do not want to wear the tips anymore. I do not want to wear the overlay anymore. And my own nails keep breaking. And so I'm a frugal person And I feel like, why am I going to go pay for a manicure when they're not even all the same length, or some nails are barely even there. So every time I think they're all finally grown out to the same length and I can go get a manicure, one of them breaks. And my nails grow longer when I have the overlay on, but I just decided I didn't want to do that anymore. For one, I feel like my nails have gotten weak from where they do that drill, that, what do you want to call that thing? The drill or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. The little thing. I think the more they run that over your nail bed, like, it seems like the weaker your nails get, and they just seem weak. And so that's why I stopped getting my nails done. So y'all wonder why I'm looking out to the side, because my brother's over there bothering me, talking about he gonna crash my life. Yeah, but yeah. So I do want to start going and getting my manicures, and I usually go get pedicures, but I really want to get a manicure once these nails do what I need them to do. If you have a massage envy near you, you can get a membership. Oh, okay. My older brother used to like hook me up all the time and get me massages, but he been slipping. Yeah, he been straight slipping. So I'm gonna have to get with him for the new year. Because the last time I went to one of the spas here in San Antonio, I spent over $200. Like, I did the mud bath, the Vichy shower thing. I did a foot treatment, and I did the 1 hour massage. Like, I did it all because I was like, I've been stressed and I deserve it. And that was, I think, actually the first time I'd actually paid for it myself, because usually, like I said, my older brother pays for it for me. Um, and I'd spent over $200 that day, but I'm telling y'all, it was worth every little penny. And I love the foot treatment that they do, because like they soak your feet, then they scrub your feet, and then they do the paraffin wax, and they wrap your feet with those hot rocks, and oh, and that Vichy shower thing. Oh my God, that was so wonderful. So they did the mud mask on your body first, and it's warm. Oh, and I like heat, so it was like taking a nice hot shower. It felt good. And so they did that first, and then they did a scrub. They let you pick like what kind of essential oil scrub you want, and they do that. And then this shower thing, it's like overhead, and they just, oh, they gave me this like shower cap to put on my head. But when I was done with everything that day, my head looked a hot mess, from laying, because the water still got like all up under the shower cap. And then when you're doing the massage, once you lay on your back, then your head's all messed up. But hey, I didn't care, because I felt good when I left there. It felt amazing. And the good thing was, like, my hair is natural, because like I really got wet up. That shower cap didn't really do anything for me at all. Nothing like a big brother. Oh my God. One day, I'm going to have to go live with my big brother. Y'all, he's a nut. Okay. When I tell y'all he's a nut, he's a nut. My younger brother is more reserved. He don't really like being seen or anything like that. But my older brother is a nut. And I'm the sane child. That's what I always tell my parents. I'm the only sane child y'all got. So yeah, it's just us three. I don't have any sisters. So it's just us three. Um, all right. What else would you guys like to know? Let's see, where are we at on time? I don't want to be on here too long. But yeah, anything else that you guys want to know, make sure you hit that like button. Very good. For me, I gave up doing schoolwork on the weekends. I tell my students, don't expect. You know what I did? Last school year, I didn't bring anything home. I said, I'm not bringing anything home. If it doesn't get done at work, then it's just not getting done. And that's how I was last year. The private school that I was at last year, they were on a block scheduling, so we had 90-minute classes, and I would mostly get my grading done during my conference. I was very diligent about that. Let me get it done while I'm here because I really am not taking anything home. And I didn't. The whole year, I took nothing home and it felt so good. How did you choose your YouTube name? I'm trying to figure mine out. Well, actually, my YouTube name is based off of my blog name. So when I quit teaching, so that would have been, oh goodness, 2013, 2014, might have been 2014, I think is when I started my blog. And I wanted to do a blog about things that I enjoy. And I know most people have like a certain little niche. Some people are just fashion bloggers, some people are just food bloggers. But I wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about. So I decided I would just be a lifestyle blogger. And some of my favorite things are pastries, shoes, and the PI stands for, of course, the math symbol pi. So I like alliteration. And so that's kind of how I came up with the name. So I was like, okay, my favorite thing to eat is pastries. And so I was trying to think, okay, so where can I go with that? So I like heels. And then I was like, oh, pumps, pumps. And then math. What am I going to do with math? Pie. So PI. That's how I came up with my name. Yeah. So pastries, pumps, and pie. And I love it. I've always loved the name of my blog. I was very happy when I came up with that. The only thing I'm struggling with is I really want to get a logo done, and that's that's difficult. I'm trying to think, well, how do I incorporate, all of these things and, make me a logo. So when I started the blog, that's what I did. I wrote about everything that I liked, and I like I like to eat, and I love finding nice places to eat good food, which is hard here in San Antonio. It's hard to find good places to eat, but when I do, I will frequent them. And so you'll see on my blog, you'll see on my YouTube, it says, food, fashion, math, and more, pretty much is what it'll say. And my favorite foods are pastries. I have pastry issues. I tell everybody that. Um, you make logos, Naive? Cool. I will have to get with you for sure. Yeah, so pastries are my favorite. I like cake. I like pie. I like cookies. I like brownies. I like cupcakes. My favorite is muffins. And my brothers used to be like, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" Just teasing me because um, one of the stores here used to have this cinnamon chip muffin, and it was my favorite. And I would get them, making you hungry. I would get them in packs of three, and I would buy them like all the time. And I would never buy them unless they were freshly packaged that day. I would check the dates, and then they changed their recipe so they don't make that cinnamon chip muffin anymore, which is very sad for me. So actually cut down on the amount of pastries that I was eating because some of my favorite bakeries here in town, I can easily spend $30 or more in there on some pastries, like easily. I've done it before. How about a chocolate cake on shoe? That sounds cute, Karen. That sounds cute. I like that idea, but I might make it a coconut cake. Coconut cake's my favorite, but chocolate would probably look better. I like that idea because I've been struggling with how to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I love pastries, y'all. I've always liked dessert. So when I have lunch and when I have dinner, I want some dessert to go with it. Like last night, I was eating when E Michelle was doing her live, but y'all know how that live was if you were on there. So I got so worked up and stuff from that live. I couldn't even finish my food, but and I like snacks and I like cheese, so I ended up snacking on some Cheez-Its afterwards because I got hungry again. And then, of course, I went to what I like best, something sweet. I ate me a few Hershey Kisses and called it and called it a night. So yeah, I have issues with pastries and sweets for real. Like, yeah, I was very emotional from that too. I really was. Everybody that's just come on, I can't. If I missed you, hello, thank you for showing up. But yeah, so yeah, pastries, and then I love heels. Now, when I taught at one high school, I remember one of the coaches told me, he's like, Miss Brown, we know when you're coming through the hall. And I was like, how? He goes, because we can hear your heels coming. And I was like, oh my God. So like people would wait to see what kind of shoes I was going to wear to work. And then they used to do that at church too. Like, what kind of shoes is she going to come to church with? I love my heels. I literally would teach in my heels and people thought I was crazy. Um, my heels are mainly 4 to 5 inch heels. And my mother gets on me all the time because I don't own a flat shoe. Okay. I don't. Like, the flattest I'm going to get is a flip flop um, and a pair of tennis shoes. And then I finally caved in and bought a pair of flat boots. I had them on the other day. I didn't feel right in those things because I don't know. I don't really wear flat shoes. But at the co-op that I teach at, it's very like kind of more casual there. So I don't dress up there like I did, when I was at regular high school. And so I haven't really worn my heels in a while for work. But yeah, I don't own a flat shoe. All my shoes have a heel on them. And so my mom sometimes want to borrow shoes or whatever, and I have nothing she can wear because she's not going to wear those heels. But I used to stand up and teach in my 4 and 5 inch heels like all day. And like one of the principals one time was like, "Oh, Miss Brown, I thought you were wearing them to work and then going in your classroom and changing," because he came in my room and he's like, "You still have those heels on?" Yeah. Now some days, because I have lower back issues. Now some days I'd be like, I gotta get out of these things. And us ladies, sometimes all of our heels aren't that comfortable. They might be cute, but they're not necessarily comfortable. But hey, yeah. So I have a lot of shoes, and I don't even have room for all of them in my closet. On the side of my bed, I have tons of shoe boxes just stacked up on the side of my bed. So I had to start, controlling myself with the spending on the pastries and the spending on the shoes. So I get emails like daily about shoe sales, and I've learned to start ignoring the emails because if I open the email, I'm going to see something I want and I'm going to want to buy it. So, but because I'm frugal, I usually just wait until there's like a good sale on something. I don't really spend a lot. More on pastries, less on cheese. That's why I think I've gained a lot of weight because of all those pastries. Um, some years ago, my younger brother, because he went to culinary school, and so he can really cook and he can really bake. I love his food. So some years ago, he was going and selling, like cakes, cookies, brownies, and all this stuff at the barbershops and beauty shops on the weekend. And if there was anything left, who do you think was eating that stuff? Me. And he makes the bomb carrot cake, like the bomb carrot cake. And so I would always hope that there would be a piece of carrot cake left so I can just go home and eat it. But yeah, I think that's one reason I packed on weight. And then to make matters even worse, my older brother worked at a bakery for a while. He was a manager at a bakery for a while. And so he was always bringing home stuff. And I was just eating it all up. So, yeah. But I did a pastry run on Friday because I deserved it. I did. And I went and I got me a muffin. And it was good. I have you ever ate a muffin and it just made you so happy inside? Yeah, that's how I get about my pastries. Like I literally get excited. And I had posted on Facebook. I said, "All I need in this life, you see, is me and my muffin." But yeah, I love a good muffin, and I really wish that the local grocery store here still sold the ones that they used to sell. But maybe I just need to ask them for the recipe so I can make my own. Red velvet German cake? I have never heard. Is that like a red velvet cross with a German chocolate? Is that what that is? I personally, I'm not a fan of chocolate cake. So if I eat a piece of chocolate cake and I love it, then that is some really good chocolate cake. And I think because everybody doesn't make their chocolate cakes moist, and that's why I don't like red velvet. Red velvet is a devil's food chocolate. I don't like the devil's food chocolate. There's a place here in San Antonio. I'm sure they have locations in other states called Whiskey Cake. Yeah, the like that cake is so good. So I usually go there on my birthday. I've kind of been going there on my birthday for a few years. And I don't know what it is. I just get blessed because it seems like that day it is super, super good. Like super, super fresh, super more. Oh, and I just remembered as I'm speaking about this that they now sell that as a whole cake. But I haven't gone to get a whole one yet. Maybe I should do that for Christmas. We should do that for Christmas. We should order a whole whiskey cake. They put this like, they have two sauces. They have this bourbon, I think it's bourbon sauce, and then they have this other cream sauce. When I first had it, I was literally scraping the plate using my finger, just getting all the sauce up, and then they serve it with this nice fresh whipped cream. Oh, man, if you have a whiskey cake in your area, you must go and you must try the whiskey cake. But I think we need to order one for Christmas. I just thought about that because we've been trying to figure out like what dessert we're gonna have for Christmas. So what we're gonna do, I think, is we're actually doing Christmas like a few days early. I think we're gonna be celebrating it on Sunday. Um, my daddy wanted a brisket, so he's cooking a brisket and we're going over there. But I don't even think we're staying there to eat. I think my mom's like packing everything up for us to take it and go. So yeah, like sometimes we don't know how to act when we get to my mom's house. Like sometimes we get over there and we just act like a big old kids, which is really sad because we're too old to be acting like that. But one time one time we were over there and we are acting up and she told us to go home. And so that following Thanksgiving, we thought we were going over there and we were going to be sitting and eating for Thanksgiving. She literally had everything already packed and ready for us to just come take it and go. She's like, I can't have y'all over here driving me crazy today. I was like, you're really not going to let us? We're not going to have sit down Thanksgiving. So yeah. And that's because we go over there and we act up. I don't know why. It's my brothers. It's not me, I promise. It's the brothers. So mayonnaise is the trick, huh? I've seen that. And you know what I've also seen people do is they put like hot coffee in the chocolate cake, and I've seen them do sour cream also. Yeah. A can of Coke. I've had a cake made with Coca-Cola before. It was pretty good. But otherwise, yeah, chocolate cake has to be moist in order for me to eat it. Now, as far as brownies, I love brownies. Um, like I said, I just love all kinds of pastries. Um, the one that I don't eat as often as others is probably pie, because we don't really. Would I go to culinary art school? Personally, probably not. But like I said, my younger brother, he did go. He went right after he graduated high school. He went to culinary arts school, and he's good at what he does. He's a cafeteria manager, so sometimes high school cafeteria food isn't that great. Not at his campus, because he's not gonna go for that. So yeah, my brother can cook. I'm gonna give him his props. But yeah, he can really, he's good at baking too. I'm so hungry now that it's almost not. I haven't eaten dinner yet myself. So I need to do that. I don't even know what I'm going to eat today. I have some leftovers. I probably need to just go ahead and eat those. I went to this Moroccan restaurant for the first time the other day. And so I have leftovers from that, and I need to eat that. Hey, Iridescent Empress. Dinner, then dessert. That's right. I am literally looking at some brownie mix right now, and I've been wanting those brownies for a minute here. How many degrees do you have? Do I have a doctorate? I have 1 degree. I have a bachelor's in mathematics. I considered going back to school and getting my master's, but student loan debt has caused me so many issues that I'm just like, I don't know. Somebody would really have to come off some money and pay for me to go back to school before I go back. And then I feel like I've spent my entire life in a classroom. Um, and so I don't know. I've debated it back and forth. Do I want to go back to school? And then when I was teaching at the public school, I was like, okay, let me go get my master's, because you get more pay. But when you break it down, and you divide that over those 12 monthly payments that they give you, it's really not that much more money. And for me, when I weighed it against getting into more student loan debt, it didn't make sense for me to go back at that time just to get a little bit of an increase, but a huge increase in student loan debt. So will I ever go back to school? I don't know. I don't know. And I feel that if I hadn't decided to become a teacher, that I probably wouldn't have taken the college route. Could I get a scholarship? Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. But the university that I graduated from is very expensive, and I would really want to go back there. It's a private university here in San Antonio. They're not cheap. um, and here's the crazy thing: the private school that I worked at last year and the year before, that private school is under the umbrella of the university that I graduated from. So I could have actually went to school and they would have paid for it. But y'all, once again, do I stay here and I be stressed just so they can pay for school, or do I not? So I learned years ago after working in corporate America, I worked for USAA Insurance, and I learned that my mental health is more important to me than a job. So when I feel that it's time to go, I will go. I when I was at USAA, I was seriously stressed out, as was most people in my department, and it just wasn't worth it for me. They're like considered one of the top companies to work for here in San Antonio, but my state of mind was more important than staying there. So I left. I think sometimes people be like, you're always leaving something, but I will walk away. I'm serious, because I cannot. And thank you. Thank you guys for coming on. Who else showed up there? Um, Yeah, I test out possibly as well, but I don't know. We'll see where God leads me as far as that education path is concerned. Right now, as far as education is concerned, I'm more trying to help other kids get to where I'm at, if that's what they choose to do. If they're choosing to um, go to college, I want to be able to be there and help them and prep them for whatever it is that they're trying to do. So, and I know college isn't for everybody either. Me and my brothers, we all took different routes after high school. My older brother immediately went into the Marine Corps. I went to college, and then my younger brother went to culinary school. So we all did different things. My younger brother, after a while, did try the traditional college route. That wasn't for him. And then my older brother, he did go back and he got his bachelor's degree after he got out of the military. So I mean, college just isn't for everybody, but if that's the route you want to take, then definitely that. But I try to tell kids, know at least what you want to do and do something. You know how most parents are, especially black parents. It's like, you're going to do something. You're not just going to sit in my house. You're going to go to school. You're going to get a job. You're going to do something. So that's what it was. I went to school, and after I graduated, my younger brother still had 2 more years in school. Then he, like I said, he went off to culinary school. And I was the only one stuck at home with my parents, because my older brother was then stationed in Virginia, and then my younger brother moved there for a little bit over a year with him and went to culinary school there in Virginia. And so I was left at home by myself and my parents. Like, they have lived other places, but I have never, like I said, I've never left San Antonio. Um, yeah, trades are trending now, and entrepreneurship is another big thing as well. What are your tips for those going back to school? Um, Naive, you mean like those that haven't been to school in a while? Um, like I said, I highly recommend that if you're going to go to college, you do it right after high school and you stick with it and you get it done. If you've taken a break or you haven't gone and you're ready to go back, just know, especially if you're working, you're going to really have to learn to juggle it all. My last 2 years of college, I was working full time and going to school full time, and it was stressful. The good thing was I was working in a high school and I was working in their front office, and what they allowed me to do was, during my lunch, I use my lunch time, rather, because it wasn't necessarily directly at my lunch time. I use my hour of lunch time to go to school. So depending on what time my classes were, and the school that I worked at and then the university that I was attending were close by. And so I would go to class. Sometimes, of course, I'd be at the university for more than an hour, but the school that I worked at had night school, so I was able to stay and make up whatever time I was over um, there. But so they were very accommodating with me, the place that I worked at. But it was hard. It was really hard. I worked in that school's front office. There were three other people that worked in that front office with me, and they were absolutely lazy and incompetent. That's just what it is. They were lazy and incompetent. I would be gone to class, and they would act like while I was gone to class, there were little things that they could not handle themselves while I was gone. So I'd get back from class, and they're like, "Oh, can you give so and so this?" Like, literally something they could have walked to my desk and handed to somebody. Why have this person waiting all this time for this stuff? I mean, it was ridiculous. It was so bad that two of my professors told me, "You need to quit that job because it's stressful." And my professors knew that I was having all these issues with work. And so they were accommodating for me. So It was one of my math professors and then my sociology professor. And the good thing, math was my major, sociology was my minor. And so, what they started allowing me to do, because they knew that everybody acted like they could not have me away from the job, they start allowing me to um, miss class, and then they would get notes for me. So for my math classes, I would take a digital recorder twice a week to the school. I'd take it, pick it up, listen to it, take notes, take it, and then they would always get a student to give me a copy of their notes. And then they would let me just come in to the campus and the testing center and do my test and my quizzes and stuff like that. And when I wasn't having trouble with the people at work, I would go physically be in class. So yeah, those two professors are the only reason I made it. I made it through college because they were so accommodating. And so the day of graduation, I gave them big gift baskets. I made both of them big gift baskets because I was so thankful. Um, and so blessed that they worked with me, and I had them for most of my classes. That was the good thing too. I had the one math professor for most of the math courses I had there, and that sociology teacher, I had him for I think all of my sociology classes as well. And the last year that I was in school, oh, thank you. Hi, Indinaja. Thank you. Um, the last year that I was in school, that first semester, the fall semester, I had four classes at, and of those four, three of them were upper division math classes. Okay. So I had calculus three, I had linear algebra, and then I had a class called numerical analysis. No, I take that back. I didn't have calculus three that semester. It was a history of math class. So I had the linear algebra and the numerical analysis with this one professor named Dr. Yang, and then the history of math with Dr. Zhao, who I'd had for most of my other classes. Dr. Yang gave so much work that I had to go to Dr. Zhao and say, listen, I can't do the homework for history of math because Dr. Yang has given us too much work. He was like, I understand. He goes, just get it done when you can, because he already knew how that professor was too. So Dr. Yang, the linear algebra was an easy class because it's algebra, I could do that. Numerical analysis was the class that I really should have gotten foreign language credit for because that was crazy. Yes, for engineering, exactly. Almost every kid in my class was an engineer major. Um, I will never forget one night working an assignment, and I had already done 10 pages front and back, and I wasn't even done. All right, bye, Crushing Goals. Thanks for coming. Um, yeah, I did 10 pages front and back, and I wasn't even done with the assignment. And so that night, I was just like, that's it. I literally fell asleep with the TV on and my books in the bed. And that actually has started this habit of me having to sleep with the TV on. But anyways, so a few of the people in my class, we got together and we started dissecting the homework because a lot of us were older because most of the kids in the class were like in their 20s at that time. I was way older than them because I had gone back to school. And so we started dividing up the work because we were like, we don't have time. And like one lady, she had children, and I didn't have children, so I had to worry about going home and dealing with a spouse and children and all this stuff. But it was just too much work. And then at the end of that semester, we're all stressing like, what is he didn't really keep us informed on our grades. And we were like, we need to know what's going on because a lot of those kids that were in engineering were graduating that semester. I still had another semester to go. And that numerical analysis class is only offered every other year. So if they weren't going to pass it, they weren't going to be able to graduate. And my thing was like, he's going to tell me something. So I went to his office. I was like, listen, you ain't got to tell everybody else, but you need to tell me because if I'm not going to pass this class, I need to go to another campus somewhere else next semester and take it. And he was like, all I'm going to tell you, Miss Brown, is you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. So for our final exam, he let us take one little note card and we could make like a little cheat sheet on the note card. But he didn't really give us too much insight on what the final was going to be. So I kept thinking, oh Lord, what am I going to put on this thing? So I went through all of our notes that he'd given us and I started writing examples from the notes. Y'all, why was the final consisting mainly of those examples? I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Because I was ready to be done with Dr. Yang. I did not want to have to deal with him another year. I didn't want to have to go to another campus and try to take that class because, like I said, it was only offered every other year. And so that fall semester was very stressful. But my spring semester, all I needed to do was take electives. That's all I needed. So I took an online Spanish course. I took an online religion course. And then I took a philosophy of Black music class. Yes. And that was like the best class ever. We did nothing in there but listen to music, watch documentaries on music, watch music videos. Like one class period, we just sat and listened to Marvin Gaye, like the whole class period. Like that was the most, that semester I needed that. That was my laid back semester. And I needed that after working full time and going to school full time because I was done. I was stressed. Graduation day, I wanted it to be over. I was just so happy. Coffee or tea? Tea. I do not like coffee. I've tried to like it. I don't like it. It tastes like hot, dirty water to me. I'm sorry. It does. I've tried, doing the different flavorings and all. No, no, I like tea. Um, my favorite flavor of tea. Oh man. I don't know. I can tell you this. I'm gonna show you this. I'm feeling this one right now. This is really, really good. This is what I've been drinking lately. Um, but if I had to say what my favorite is, there is a tea called Nutcracker tea. And it usually comes out this time of year. I haven't even checked the stores for it because for a while they stopped even having it in store. And so at one point I actually got on the website and just ordered it. And you can't order like one box, and you get like several boxes, but that's what I did. Yeah. That one is the bomb. Like you don't even really need a lot of sweetener in this because I only sweeten my tea with honey. That's the only, and I don't do artificial sweeteners at all. Not even stevia. I don't like them. Mm-mm-mm. Give me real sugar. Give me honey. I can't do anything else. But yeah, that Nutcracker tea, and I want to say the brand is, I think it's Celestial Seasonings. Is that what it's called? I think that's the brand, but it's called Nutcracker Sweet or something like that. Oh my goodness, it is so good. It's so good. No, I have never tried lavender tea. Sometimes lavender can be heavy. Oh, can I hold the box up higher? Yes. Can you see that? Yeah, this one's really, really good. You just finished my night cup of coffee. I was out and about the other day and I was just tripping. Me and my brother were tripping about how many people were in line at the Starbucks. What is the deal with Starbucks? And, and this is the crazy thing too. At the end of the school year last year, a lot of my students gave me Starbucks gift cards. And I was like, these kids have never seen me drinking coffee, talking about coffee. They know I don't like coffee. Why they give me all these Starbucks gift cards? But I used to always go to Starbucks for this one drink they used to have. It used to be called a Tazzleberry and cream. This was years and years ago. And then they stopped making it. And then I would only go for their coffee cake. Then they changed how they made the coffee cake. So now I got all these Starbucks gift cards. I gotta go. I guess I'll go see what I can use them for because I'm definitely not gonna get coffee. One time I got hot chocolate at Starbucks. It was so bitter. Like it was just bitter. I don't know if they use dark chocolate, but I didn't like it. I was like putting coffee creamer in it, trying to make it taste better. But I just never liked coffee. I love the smell of coffee, but I don't like coffee. And I'm very picky with like everything. Yeah, with everything. So, like I love the smell of squash. I love the way squash smells when it's cooking, but I'm not gonna eat it. They put additives in their stuff. Oh wow. I don't see the hype. Like when we went to Seattle, my cousin was like hell bent on going to this new Starbucks they have. I mean, we went, but I couldn't get excited about it because I'm not a coffee person. And there were Starbucks everywhere in Seattle. Everywhere you look, there's a Starbucks everywhere. And then they have one of the first ones, I think, like in the little market area. And I mean, the line was just long with people trying to get in there. But I've just never been a coffee person. And when I worked at USAA, we had Starbucks there in the building. And the guys that used to work at the Starbucks would be like, you always come and you get this tea drink, but you never try coffee. So one day they kept trying to give me these little samples and they would like mixing all these different flavors in there. And I was like, no, still don't like it. No, no, still don't like it. They're like, we're just not going to win you over. Or we're like, nope, I just don't like coffee. I don't like it. I don't know. I've never tasted any that taste. They put crack in it. They're putting something in that stuff for it to be dark at night, and they have like a line at their drive-through, like McDonald's. McDonald's must be putting crack in their food too, because I don't understand that one either. Yeah, so yeah, I don't do coffee. Nope. I really should have taken all those gift cards with me to Seattle. Would have been useful there, just like Coke used to do years back. Does anyone remember? Yes. Milk. Do I like milk? I don't drink um, regular milk anymore. I drink almond milk primarily, but I don't. Okay, let me say that. I use almond milk because I don't really just drink it. Does that make sense? Um, I mainly only use it in when I have a bowl of cereal. There is like this cornbread mix that we like to make homemade. Well, it's not a mix with this homemade cornbread we like to make, but it tastes better with whole milk, and that's about really the only time we'll use whole milk for certain recipes and stuff. Rice milk, I used to do rice milk a lot. Rice milk is naturally pretty sweet, but it's like it's sticky, or is it just me? It's kind of sticky. I don't know. So I love coconut, right? So, but I think because I love coconut so much, when I use coconut milk, the coconut flavor seems really heavy for me. So I don't know. But the almond milk is primarily what I use. And like I said, I mainly only use it when I have a bowl of cereal. I'm trying to think about any other time that I use it. When I make macaroni and cheese. Smoothies? I don't really make smoothies. But yeah, I don't. But regular milk? No. No regular milk. I should try it. I only do almond milk as well. Lactose intolerant. Yeah. I learned some stuff about milk. It's kind of disgusting. But here's the drawback to that. I don't drink regular milk, but I like ice cream. And I've tried to give up ice cream, but I just can't do it. And I can't do it. I won't do it. No. I like ice cream like I like pastries. Have you done any charity 5K? No. I'm not a very active person like that. Like I just started going to the gym for the first time in my life, and I'm 43, and I just started going to the gym. Um, was it last month? I want to say it was last month. Like I've never been an active person. Like sometimes people think that I was in like all these sports and stuff in high school. Mm-mm. No. Yeah. So I would probably pass out doing a 5K walk. I would probably pass out. I mean, every now and then I go ride my bike, which I don't even do that as often as I should since my brother bought me a really nice bike some years ago and I don't ride it as much as I should. But yeah, y'all, it took everything for me to go to the gym. I used to sit and watch, The Biggest Loser or whatever. I used to watch that, and I would see people sweating on there and sweating all over that equipment, and I'd be like, ooh. And so I just never had a desire to go to a gym. And the first time that I really did go, I kind of got sick, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little incapacitated for the rest of the day. Oh, you're about to be 43? Hey, hey. Do I go to Gold's Gym? No. There's a gym near my house in Inaja. I live on the east side of San Antonio, and there's a small like neighborhood gym there, and that's where I've been going. Um, the lady that owns the gym, she used to be a coach at a school that my mom and my brother worked at for a while, and she has a nice little gym, and so that's where I go. So you go to Goals on 78. Yeah, I had went to someplace on Walsham. This guy that I went to high school with, I went to work out with him one day, and y'all, I think he tried to kill me. He had me on like that Stairmaster thing, and I did an equivalent of like over 60 flights of stairs in about 40 minutes. Oh my God. Like when I tell you I was incapacitated, when I got home, like it was hard for me to drive back home because I was not feeling great after that. And so I mustered up the strength, to get in the shower and everything. And I just got into bed. I was done for the rest of the day. So a lot of planners live in Texas. We need to do a Texas planner meetup. Because y'all know, for me, I live in San Antonio and I don't like to fly. I prefer to drive somewhere. And if I have to go outside of Texas, it's just going to take me forever just to get out of Texas. So, yeah, that's the problem. Once it's because of where I'm located in Texas, it takes forever to get to the border and go somewhere. So, yeah, but yeah, there's quite a few that lives in Texas. Lisa, Planning and Praying, Lisa Max, she lives in Texas too. Y'all have all the meetups already. 18-hour drive. Oh my goodness. I think you should just fly. That's a long drive. I like to travel, but yeah, driving is my jam. Yeah, I prefer to drive. I usually go to this Christian singles retreat every year. I missed it this year. They had it last weekend. I'm really sad that I didn't get to go. But with my work schedule this year, it just didn't work. And plus, nobody was really going to go with me. And I didn't feel that it was safe for me to drive to New Orleans by myself. And I didn't really want to fly. And like I said, the scheduling just really didn't work either. So I was all sad today looking at some of their photos they had posted on Facebook and everything, because I always have fun at these Christian single retreats, and I had not missed a year since I had started going. I was in 2009, and so I missed it, and I'm sad. Yeah, but I didn't want to drive that distance by myself. The farthest I've ever driven by myself is like Dallas area. And yeah, nobody wanted to go with me. So, yep. But I didn't get to go. But it's like last year they had it in Arkansas. And then my older brother went with me last year. So that I think was like a 9 hour drive. And then when you factor in stopping for the restroom, stopping to eat, stopping to get gas, you can easily tack on an extra hour and a half to 2 hours to that trip. Easily. Easily. Alrighty. I'm going to take a few more questions and then I'm going to end this live because I really need to go eat. And those of you on the East Coast, it's getting kind of late over there, huh? 3 hours is hard for me. I hate driving. Yeah, I don't mind driving. I'm a pretty aggressive driver though, which is kind of not good. You got to put the kid to bed. All right. We still need to hook up. And Inaja, we still need to hook up, so we need to do that as soon as we can. Maybe right after the holidays. I don't want to take people's holiday time away. So, yeah, but yes, definitely. How long have you been planning? Well, teaching you always have to plan, pretty much. But as far, and I just did a blog post on that too, how I became a planner babe. You know how years ago you go to church or some business, they always give you those little pocket planners, and I would get those and I would utilize them for a couple of months and then just kind of toss them off to the side. But the only other form of planning I had other than teaching planning was just putting stuff in my phone, like, hey, Cortana, remind me to do such and such. Hey, Cortana, remind me to do that. But when last school year, I had came across the Happy Planner in somebody's blog post, but I was already using another planner for teaching, and so I was like, well, I already paid for this planner, and so I'll wait. And then I got an email from them when they were starting to look for their new PR team. And I was like, oh, yeah, the Happy Planner. And so that's when I was like, maybe this will work for me next year now because I'm going to be doing a little different teaching setting. And so I started looking into it. I went to their site and started looking into it. And then I watched video after video. And I tell y'all, that's all I did was watch videos. And I swore I was not going to become a planner girl. And I did. I did. I became a planner girl. But yeah, so I went on their site and the planner that I wanted, because I literally picked my planner. I wanted the vertical layout because I wanted to do functional and decorative planning, and I felt that that was the better one for that. And I wanted a classic size. I thought that would work best. Yes, please do that, Niley. Um, and um, and so I actually picked my first planner based on the dividers. I have to like something before I spend my money. I have to like really like it. And I like the dividers in that one. And then they had a divider that had ice cream. Woo! So yeah, I was actually pretty much won over when I saw that divider with the ice cream. And that was the hashtag big plans planner. And then I started seeing videos with the squat goals planner. And I was like, oh man, I like that one too. So I went ahead and got that one. And then I was like, what am I going to do with this other planner? So I decided to use the first one that I purchased as my social media planner. And then I used the squad goals for my catch-all planner. But I actually took the divider with the ice cream and swapped it into my catch-all planner because I like my ice cream. I like my ice cream. I can barely go into the store without going to the ice cream aisle. So how many do you have now? Okay. I have my catch-all, I have my social media planner. I bought the Miss Maker. So I use that as my on-the-go planner. I have one, two, three, four. I think I have four happy notes. I do. When did I get four? I have four happy notes. I use one of them for my private tutoring clients, and then I bought an extra one because I use a lot of the paper in there. Then I bought the other two I use for the homeschool co-op where I teach. So I didn't get a teacher planner because I'm not in a traditional classroom setting like I normally would be. And when I saw that the Happy Notes had the three sections, I thought that was perfect because I teach three courses at the homeschool co-op, and so I bought Happy Notes to use for that. So yeah, I have four Happy Notes. I thought I only had three. And I just won a giveaway. So I have another planner, and I'm going to use that as an as if planner. I heard Tarshell be talking about an as if planner before. And the one that I just won, I think it's a horizontal planner, which is probably going to be perfect for that. Kind of like goal setting, kind of, sort of. But yeah, so I'm going to use the one that I just won for my as if planner. Then I have, and it's not really a planner, but it's kind of like a little notebook that I turn into like a faith journal. And I'm probably going to do a video sometime this week on my lineup for next year. I have not really changed my lineup because let me tell you, I just really wasn't feeling the new Happy Planner releases. I just really wasn't. I just really wasn't. So I didn't really find anything that I just absolutely had to have. I like the Miss Maker, and I wanted a mini, and I like that the mini has the little checklist and it has the horizontal space for writing as well. So I went ahead and got that. But I'm still going to be using the same ones because both of the planners that I have are 18-month planners. So I was like, should I spend money on something that I don't really want or just use what I have? Because these are still going to go through for another few months here into 2019. So yeah, I should look into homeschool teacher jobs. Yes. I'm actually hoping to get a position right now with an online homeschool. I hope I get it. If I don't, I'll be a little sad, but I hope I get it. I applied for an academic advisor position with them. So I'm hoping that works out. Yeah, because my private tutoring business actually kind of went down this year, which was very surprising to me, because I'm usually always in high demand for private tutoring. And there are some people that have inquired, but our schedules are conflicting. And, I travel a lot. I used to travel a whole lot with my private tutoring, and none of the people that I tutor live near me. And so I've tried to cut back on all that traveling because what usually happens is because kids want tutoring after school, I get stuck in the worst traffic of the day trying to go to people's houses. Um, so I even opened myself up this year to do Skype sessions. So I've been trying to convince more people to do the Skype sessions so that I can still accommodate them and not have to worry about the travel as much. But I love doing the tutoring. I do. You have 15 planners? Wow. I do not have a happy planner recipe book. And let me tell you why I don't have a happy planner recipe book. I don't really cook, y'all. Okay? Remember I told y'all my brother went to culinary school. I rely on him for a lot of meals. I can cook. I know how to cook, and I cook well. Like my food's good. I just don't like to do it. And when I cook, I don't really want to eat afterwards because I've like taken all this time to do it. I don't want to eat it after. But yeah, that's a lot of planners. Tarshell and Shakisha and Lisa are making me want a traveler's notebook. And I was sitting there looking at Lisa's live on Instagram, and I was like, I'm gonna get me one. I don't even know what I would do with it. What would I do with it? I don't even know, but I want one because Tiffany is doing such a great job with those TNs. Yes, enablers. Definitely enablers. So I really got to weigh that one before I go get one. I want one. There's this one planner. Her YouTube channel is Happy to Plan. She does a lot of like vintage style traveler's notebooks. She does a lot of what they call junk journaling. Oh my God, y'all. And I didn't think I would even really care for that kind of stuff, but her stuff is really nice. Yeah, Tiffany's gonna have us all spending our money. Then, and that's what I was trying to think. Do I just want to get a cover or do I want to actually get a TN? But I have to really I have to really think about it. I want one. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's almost 8:30 here. I want to thank you guys so much for coming to my Tuesday talks. I'm going to be doing this every Tuesday. I'll try to stick to this same time so that it's not sporadic. I know next Tuesday, I believe, is Christmas. So, if I get on next week, it'll just be really quick just to say hi and see how y'all's Christmas day is going and things like that. Because I don't want to intrude on anyone's family time and things like that when it comes to the holidays. But I was just sitting the other day, I was thinking, I just want to talk about different things. So definitely hit me up on Instagram, email, let me know what kind of things you guys would like to talk about. And that's what we're going to do here every Tuesday. We're going to have our Tuesday talks. Sometimes I'll have a specific topic. Sometimes I'll go with some of the things that you guys suggest. And we're just going to have a good time talking. All right. So you know what to do. Go ahead and slay. Make sure you subscribe, like, and accept the alerts so that you don't miss any more of my videos, any more of my lives, or any more of my Tuesday talks. So if I don't see you guys before then, because I might go live again this week, but if I don't see you guys before then, you guys have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will check you guys later. Bye-bye.